Keep Austin weird. You've heard it, seen it on t-shirts and bumper stickers. You've probably even said it a couple of times. It's a phrase that's well known here in Austin and across the country.
But where did it come from, and is Austin still weird? Here's KVUE cultural reporter Brittany Flowers.
I pretty much grew up in Austin, and it had always had this real different feel from the rest of Texas to me.
It's a phrase first coined nearly 20 years ago by Red Wasenick when he called a local nonprofit radio station to make a donation.
When I called in my donation, the person taking it said, "So why are you donating to this?" And I said, "Oh, it helps keep Austin weird."
And something in his mind clicked.
And I mentioned it to my wife, and she said, "Well, let's get bumper stickers made."
And they did. He also started the website keepaustinweird.com. And after the phrase was adopted by local businesses Book People and Waterloo Records, it took off.
I think we did a pretty good job of promoting Keep Austin Weird for a totally different reason, I think, or in a totally different way than maybe some of the people had intended.
In 2003, the presidents of Book People and Waterloo Records teamed up to fight the opening of a big box store that could potentially put them out of business.
Steve Burkoo, the president of Book People, and myself were saying, hey, they're 1 block away from us, and we've been competing with Borders for, a good while. They've got other stores here in town.
They created bumper stickers and used an email campaign to encourage Austinites to shop local.
These independent businesses are important. They're what make Austin, Austin.
So what is it about Austin that makes it weird?
I think it still celebrates being original.
Things like Moon Tower Comedy and all of the film festivals that we've got going on here and so forth.
I think that Austin still very much supports its independent businesses, which I think is fantastic. I think you don't find that in all communities.
It's now been 19 years since Wasenick first said, "Keep Austin weird." Where does the weirdness stand now? Is Austin still weird?
I think it's slipping a bit, but I think it could still be revitalized.
Is it as weird as it was in 2003? Who's to say? It certainly is, there are lots of issues facing Austin, and it's not as easy to live here for people who help make it weird, right? So the affordability is a real issue.
If you just sit around and complain about it, yeah, it's not going to seem weird, but if you get out and actually go do things, you go, well, there's still a lot of wacky people in town.
I think you got to look for it a little bit more than you used to.
Max Moreland preserves the weirdness of Lala's Little Nugget, a small bar in North Austin with a year-round Christmas theme.
It's just as we grow and change, we can't stop growth, we can't stop development. It still exists. It's just something that you got to look for around some creepy corners to find sometimes.
So how can everyone help preserve the weirdness that remains?
Hopefully the ones that aren't from Austin talk to the ones that are.
I really do think that keeping Austin weird is about making sure that the small and local and independent businesses thrive, because that's where Austin's character comes from.
I think the fundamental thing about Keep Austin Weird was the whole attitude of being open.
In 2016, Wasenick wrote a book about Austin's weirdness. It's a guide to the still odd side of the city, the people and places that make Austin weird. Places like the Carousel Lounge, Room Service Vintage, and Sparky Park.
It's just kind of finding the odder ones and pushing them.
So whether you read books about Austin, talk to those who have lived in Austin for a while, or just shop local.
I love this place, and I want it to be like the place that I moved to in 1972. I know that won't be the case.
We can all play a role in keeping Austin weird.
Well, I just hope to keep open-minded and don't get judgmental, and try not to worship money.
Brittany Flowers, KVUE News.
They have a point. I mean, there's still so much weird in this town, but you got to dig a little bit to find it these days.
Yeah. That's true. It's still there. We visited some of those places, and it's fun. Keeps it interesting.
That's right.